Welcome to the Halloween edition of Beyond Focus TV. I'm your host, Lydia Patel, dressed up as Little Red Riding Hood for the evening. Yes, we're going to have a fantastic time, tricks and treats, but we have a treat for you here tonight, as always, because we have a fantastic guest with us. Kathy Desmarades of Ayiti Biyografi is going to be with me for the next 30 minutes. So stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, the Halloween edition. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves, but I don't have any tricks. I only have treats, and Kathy Desmarades is my guest. She's in the hot seat tonight. She's going to tell us all about Ayiti Biyografi, a great organization doing a lot of work for Haiti. Kathy, welcome to the program.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. You know, it's Halloween. We're having a great time. Everyone's, in a good spirit.
Yes.
So on that note, we're really great to have you in the studio here tonight. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, a little bit about what you've been up to before leading up to Ayiti Biyografi?
Well, I'm Kathy Desmarades, born in New York City. And at the age of 11, I moved to Haiti with my mom and fell in love with Haiti, lived there for 11 years. At the age of 22, I moved back to New York and attended Long Island University, got my master's in public administration. Mm-hmm. And for a little while I was in Haiti, I worked at a few radio stations. And I also joined, I'm known as the first female of Rap Creole, which is Haitian rap music. Mm-hmm. I was one of the first females to join the Rap Creole movement. And from there on, I took that into a couple of radio stations and worked as a radio host for different shows, especially a Rap Creole show on Radio Igbo. Mm-hmm. And when I moved here, I always had a passion for social work. And I currently work with the New York City Human Resources Administration as a caseworker. And, that's
doing
me.
it up. So let's talk about something really interesting that you brought up is that even though you were born here, you spent a good portion of your childhood here, went back to Haiti at the age of 11.
Yes.
So I'm going to touch this question on two different angles.
Okay.
When you got there, 11-year-old kid, living in Brooklyn, living in New York, now you're landing in Haiti.
Yes.
How was that adjustment?
I always went with my mom on vacation. However, I never expected to live there. For me, it was very welcoming. I really liked, living with my grandmother and my cousins, being able to play around with the animals, because it's not
life.
like exactly. But however, my brother also moved with me. He had a hard time adjusting, because at that age you're really used to the McDonald's and the
delis on the corner, exactly. Just walk outside.
So it was a change, but I myself adapted very well and stayed there for 11 years. But for my brother, he didn't last 3 years, and he wanted to come back, which he did. But I've always loved Haiti and always, felt comfortable there.
Now, on the flip side, it's interesting to note as well that you're going there at 11. Now you spent your teenage years, which are very formative years for anyone that's growing up. So that's a big chunk of your life.
Yes.
You went to high school out there then?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a different education system. You come back at 22 years old. You're a woman now. You're legal here.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
How was it coming back?
That was my choice, by the way. At the age of 22, I decided that I wanted to do more, and because of the way the country was at that time, it would have been difficult. So I decided that I wanted to come to New York and go to school and pursue an education. And it took about maybe 6 months. One day I was just laying down in my bed and I just heard sirens outside, and it just hit me, and I'm like, wow, as much as I loved Haiti, around the time when I was there was a lot of turmoil with the politics. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that at the time it was dangerous, you know. And as much as I loved, you know, it felt comfortable. I was out at all time of the night and never felt insecure. But it made me realize when I heard the sirens, like, wow, I could have been in a situation there, and there wouldn't be those sirens there, you know, to help me out. You couldn't expect for cops to come, and you know, it took a while, but finally, I don't regret that my mom took me there at 11. I learned a lot about myself. Sometimes when I look at a lot of the teenagers that at my age that were here, you know, and the things that I've accomplished, I think that was the best choice my mom made for me.
Absolutely, and it's such a great thing to actually. I would advocate for anybody to maybe not live for that many years, but I would say leave, go somewhere else, experience something different. And so I'm very big on schools that let you do a semester abroad, study abroad a little bit, because you do get to understand and get a little more of that culture.
Yes.
So what did living in Haiti really teach you that's different that you didn't get here in the States?
To be grateful. That's the first thing. Because a lot of the things that we take for granted here, you know, there's people like, for example, some of us in the morning when we get up to shower, we turn on the water and
leave it running.
And just leave it running.
Yep.
You can't do those things in Haiti, you know. You can't decide at 3 o'clock in the morning you're going to go and get something to eat, for instance. So
that's true.
I learned Haiti taught me to be grateful. That's the best word I can think of for now.
And how long after coming back here you decided to start Ayiti Biyografi?
Well, Ayiti Biyografi is, when I moved here for a while, I didn't go to a lot of Haitian parties, basically because I was in school. And, you know, when you go to school, you meet other different people. So I went to a lot of different things that were non-Haitian. Ayiti Biyografi is fairly new. It's a new website. And it took me some time to do it because I wanted when I started for me to know exactly where I wanted to go. So for now, like I said, we just started. It's only been 6 months.
Okay.
It's only been 6 months. We had our 6-month anniversary on October 2nd, and you know we're taking it from there.
Absolutely. So it's a relatively new platform.
Correct.
Of course, there's room to grow. There's always room to improve. But tell me how the last 6 months have been for you in starting that and running a website, even though it's a non-for-profit. You know, reaching out to different people, having to manage this. How's that been for you?
It hasn't been difficult because the people that I connect with for the website, a lot of them know me from doing radio in Haiti and from being part of the rap group. So it's not as difficult as for somebody who's never been in the media limelight, you know, to make contact. So it hasn't been difficult in making contact with people. It's been more difficult in getting the information that I need because you know because of the way Haiti is as far as information is concerned. It's not if you Google something that has to do with Haiti, you're not going to find as much information as you would do for the United States because we're still building, you know, and there's a lot of information that's not there. So that's been the difficult part.
Absolutely. Well, hold that thought. We'll be right back because we've got 2 more segments right here on Beyond Focus TV. We've got Kathy Desmaradas, who is the founder of Ayiti Biyografi. To all my Haitians at home, you're going to want to tune into this special episode. And, of course, if you're eating your candy, save some for me, please. I didn't get to go trick-or-treating yet. Keep it right here. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, sitting down here with Kathy Desmaradas, the founder of Ayiti Biyografi, a relatively new website, but doing big things, especially in the last 6 months. Kathy, let's recap briefly for those who are now joining us.
Sure.
Just about what Ayiti Biyografi is. We know it's a website.
Yes.
What would you say in your words as the founder is your mission and goal?
Our mission is to positively promote Haitian culture.
Very good.
And I use the word positively because what we try to do, what I try to do, is connect the audience to our artists, musicians, painters, and I say positively because a lot of the other websites that deal with Haitian culture, they're more they promote, but they deal a lot with the personal side of it. What I'm trying to do with Ayiti Biyografi is basically you don't have to be Haitian to go on the website and still be able to connect and understand what's going on. That's why most of the articles on there are in English. And for example, and what I try to do as well is that the major cultural events that take place in our community, I try to kind of give a preview of it before it happens,
Yes.
and then a review of it, and then have pictures and videos that you can look on the website. You'll find on the website you'll find them. You can go to the YouTube channel, you'll see them, and we have Instagram, Facebook. So that's our mission, to positively promote Haitian culture.
In your opinion, in your own words, now I like the word positively because that's so important, because there is a lot of people, even Haitians within themselves, who negatively, and they may not be aware that they're doing that. It's just easier to kind of go with the stereotypes, go with the flow. What do you think really needs to be done to continue to move Haitian culture in a positive way?
Well, when I first started the website, a lot of the artists that I contacted, they were kind of, although they knew who I was, it took time for me to say, okay, this is not something that's trying to know the bad things. We want to know the good things. So one of the things that I try to do is, even if something happens, for example, at an event that's not positive, I will discuss it on the website in the review. However, I try to make it so that whoever's reading it will still want to come next year, for example.
Not make it the highlight.
Exactly.
You're not doing it how, for instance, the West Indian Day Parade. How they only focus on the negative, almost like trying to get people to not come to the parade anymore. Because they only highlight the negative aspect. Yes, we know there's incidents. At every single parade, there's incidents that happen. But instead of focusing on the culture, us trying to really promote the culture, they really focus on other things. So I understand what you mean by that. As a Haitian, though, for you, what is a pet peeve that you hate, or, for lack of a better word, that gets you upset when you hear certain things about Haitian culture that's just false information?
When it always surprises me when people say, "You don't look Haitian."
That's what I've heard that one a lot. I hear people say that a lot.
So what were you expecting me to look like? That's one of the biggest issues. Or this idea that everywhere in Haiti is dirty and we don't have clean,
wanted to talk about that.
Nice. We have beautiful places in Haiti, beaches that I've never seen before. I've been to many other places, but there's so much that people outside of Haiti do not know because they don't show these things on TV.
And I was going to say, the Haiti that's showed on mainstream American television really is a fraction. It's kind of like Africa. When the vision of Africa, of needy, hungry children all the time that you see on World Vision, only represents a small portion of what that Africa is. There's parts, of course we know Africa is a rich, wealthy country.
Definitely.
We're not saying Haiti is not going through economic situations, but I have a lot of Haitian friends. I'm down with the Haitian culture, and I know from what my friends have told me, beautiful cities, people have maids and able to afford a good lifestyle. So share that with us. I want people at home to really know this.
Well, like I said before, there's beautiful places in Haiti. There's so much to do, so much nice houses.
What about tourism?
Well, right now, our current president, Michel Martelly, is doing a very good job with his staff in trying to promote and getting people to come down and visit. We have the Marriott, the Best Western hotels that's down there.
They have those in Haiti?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And these are beautiful hotels. You can, if